So, can we give them a hand?
Good morning, everybody.
All right. Okay. So first, I have a question for you guys. Have you ever seen a lion? Lions? Yes? And lions are big and strong and kind of scary looking animals, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, our story today is about some lions and a man named Daniel. Daniel knew that God is stronger and greater than anything or anyone else in the world. And Daniel loved and obeyed God. Now, when Daniel was a boy, he and some other boys had been taken to a faraway land where they were to work for the king. The very first thing the king told them to do was eat some food. This was a problem for Daniel and his friends because they knew the kind of food the king ate was not what God wanted his people to eat. So Daniel talked with the king's servant who was in charge of them, and he asked if he could obey God. God caused the servant to allow Daniel and his 3 friends to obey God and eat only the kind of food their people were supposed to eat. When they obeyed, God made Daniel and his friends healthier and stronger than all the boys who ate the king's food. Daniel learned over and over that it is always best to obey God. When he grew up, Daniel became a very important man. He worked for King Darius. Only King Darius himself was more important than Daniel in the land.
Daniel was a man who believed in God, and he always tried to do what was right. Some bad men wanted to get Daniel into trouble. So they had King Darius make a law that anyone who prayed to anyone or anything except King Darius would be thrown into a den of hungry lions. After he heard about the new law, Daniel walked right upstairs to the window in his house, opened it wide, and began to pray. The bad men were watching outside Daniel's house. As soon as they saw him kneeling down and praying to his God, they hurried off to King Darius. King Darius, they said, didn't you make a law that for 30 days anyone who prays to anyone or anything except you will be thrown into the lion's den? Yes, I did, King Darius replied. I made a law that cannot be changed. But we saw Daniel, they told him. He paid no attention to you. King Darius, it's your law. He still prays 3 times a day to his God. King Darius knew they were right. Sadly, he gave the order to have Daniel arrested and thrown into the den of lions.
The soldiers brought Daniel and took him right into the opening and dropped him into the den with the lions. A big stone was rolled over the opening of the lion's den, and anyone who moved the rock from the lion's den, had to answer to the king. No one would be able to help Daniel escape. So, do you suppose, what do you think happened next? Do you think the lions ate up Daniel? No. Daniel had obeyed God, and now God took care of Daniel. The lions came close to Daniel, but they didn't roar and they didn't bite him. They acted just like friendly pets or kittens. How could this be? God who loved Daniel had sent his angel to watch over him and close the lion's mouth. Daniel smiled as he curled up next to the lions to go to sleep for the night. Now, can you all join in with us as we sing a song about Daniel and the lion's den?
Faithful man, looked in God, praying whenever you can. King Darius said, and stop that man. You can't pray whenever you can. It's my law, God breaks it to me. me.